What's going on, YouTube? What's going on? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know if I need to bring this up a little bit. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Let me know. Let me know. Salute, salute. Let me know. Let me know. I may have to resize this. Let's put the chats here. Let's put the chats here. Let's put your chats here. Let me move myself up. And let's put the charts here or some. Let's get you guys all lined up here nicely. Salute to the chat. Salute, salute. Let me know if you guys can hear me. This thing is, let's see where we at. Let's see if that will do it. Let's see. Okay, a little bit more. Think so. Good. Okay. Salute to Rainbow the God. Rainbow the God wants a replay. Rainbow the God wants a replay. So let's give Rainbow the God a small replay. How about this?
We need another one. Folk now. I'm hungry though. I ain't gonna lie, I can go for some fries or something, folks. I ain't gonna lie, folks. I can go for some fries or something.
Hey, I can go for some fries or something, man.
We need another one. Folk now. I'm hungry though. I ain't gonna lie, I can go for some fries or something, folks. I ain't gonna lie, folks. I can go for some fries or something. We need another one. Folk now. I'm hungry though. I ain't gonna lie, I can go for some fries or something, folks. I ain't gonna lie, folks. I can go for some fries or something.
I could go for some fries or something, man.
We need another one. Folk now. I'm hungry though. I ain't gonna lie, I can go for some fries or something, folks. I ain't gonna lie, folks. I can go for some fries or something.
All right, salute to y'all. Salute to UKF. Brezen, salute. Jada, thanks for that support. Thank you, Jada. How are you doing? How are you? How are you? I need to prepare my ladies panel sometime coming up soon. Let me know if you guys can hear me. If I need to dial it up a little bit, I can dial it up. I got plenty of room. Because this EV Max then. So let me know, man. I'm counting on you for the right volume. Let me know. Let me know because I switch platforms temporarily for the next 30 days so that I can get you guys to participate. There you go. KF is here. All right, let's see what we got. What we got, man. This is still one of my which one is this one?
Yeah, folks. Tell us ass come outside, folks.
Okay, tell us ass come outside.
We need another one. Folk now. I'm hungry though. I ain't gonna lie, I can go for some fries or something, folks. I ain't gonna lie, folks. I can go for some fries or something.
Shout out to Pab. Shout out to Pab. we like Pab over here. Shout out to Pab. All right, let's see what we got for the agenda, man. Let me pull up my stuff. Let me pull up my stuff because there's been a lot of chatter. Okay, so today we're gonna talk about Oshay. Oshay is broken. We're also gonna talk about something called social identity theory. Okay, and then we're gonna do a small coverage on Austin Holleman. If I can get through this in 30 minutes, I'm gonna bring the panel on. I really enjoyed the last panel, man. That was great. So we're just gonna keep up with the panel, man. So I'm gonna try to be brief so I can get y'all on. Um, so here's the thing, right? There's I saw Maria's part of Maria's live stream about the FBA, the diaspora wars. I watched some of LT's clips about the FBAs and the diaspora wars. Of course, it's not everybody that is participating in this stuff, but pretending as if it doesn't exist is also not right. I think everybody should accept with whatever role they're playing in it. There are some guys in the middle that don't want to participate. Uh, they're indifferent, right? And that is because maybe they have family from both sides or they have friends on both sides. I have friends on both sides too. All right. And then you have, the dudes that are, especially the influencers that are on the left side of this, the FBA guys that are pushing with thumbnails like what Tariq Nasheed does. And then you have guys like maybe me or Sheku that will present to an extent. Maybe I can add Afro Think Tank, all these other Javin, the guys that are Black Americans that are also pushing back. And then me that provides a rebuttal, right? To some people, I'm radical. I don't think I am. I think uh, this pushback is very necessary because if we don't push back, then this is not going to stop because obviously the things they say are offensive to us and the things we say are offensive to them. And at some point, I believe it's going to converge. Both sides are going to look at this and say, "Hey guys, okay, it was a run. We've had enough. Let's figure out a way." Now, not everybody is going to jump on board, but uh, nobody should be upset when Africans or Caribbean people push back. Nobody should be upset. They definitely have to. If you don't push back, you're not going to survive. I mean, what I think is a bunch of bullies, right? But one of the things that you're going to hear for the most part is when you get into when immigrants are pushing back, you're gonna hear a lot of the times people talking about the civil rights movement, right? They're gonna talk about things like, "Oh, you are here because of our civil rights movement. You are here because of what our ancestors did. Oh, if it wasn't for our ancestors, you wouldn't be here." Well, that is partly true. But you also can litigate what happened then and now. These are completely two different eras, right? And the reason this comes up is that they want to tell you that it's okay for them to insult you, but you cannot say anything back. Okay, so it's a way to put you in a corner where you can't debate, where you can be a critic, where you cannot push back. The idea is to make you feel that you are not you are being ungrateful for some sacrifice that whoever said this to you has done. Mind you, these people that will tell you this have never sacrificed for anybody. not even not even their own family, right? If you look at the data, some of these people can't even sacrifice for their own children, right? So now the question becomes, what is the weight of ancestral sacrifice, right? Because humans, we are multi-generational. Every group of humans come in, they do their little bit, and some of that benefit, good or bad, will transfer to the next generation, and it's expected of them to do their best. But as humans, there's also a tendency for us to discount modern era and modern success. And if I put it to you right now that this generation, the last 20 years of this world, has been the richest humans have ever been. These last 20 years has been the most technologically advanced that humans have ever been. If you do this relative to inflation, this is the most prosperous group of individuals globally. Poverty levels are much lower globally. So this is the best time for humans globally. And this success has been made through the people that are working right now for the next generation of humans. I mean, I haven't even talked about the advances in medicine and science, you know, if I and pharmaceuticals, and how long people are living longer, right? This is the best, I would say, the most productive group of individuals. It's our generation. We have been, yet we don't get any credit. I mean, I'm talking about them from the Gen X's through the millennials, right? We've produced the most richest people that ever lived on this planet. This generation, these last 20 to 30 years, that has been possible. Okay. Now, when you look at all of these things, and people still go back to some legislation or some bills that were passed and use those bills to take you out of an argument to make it sound like you're ungrateful, do not fall for that nonsense. It's all I'm saying. Because here's the thing: what they fail to tell you is that, fine, it's incredible, and I don't like to not give people credit for what they've done. It's incredible that the Civil Rights Act was passed. It's an act, okay? Now, this act also involved white Americans. And Seller, the New York congressman who actually wrote the bill, is a white man. Yet you don't hear black Americans give any credit to white Americans that were involved in making these rights possible. Now, I'm not going to get deeper into what the Civil Rights Act of 1964 is. A lot of you live in America, you already know this. But I'm going to talk about what the key components are, okay? Because when you hear an act, people make it sound like there were guns blazing to make something happen. That is not true, okay? What are the main, and I itemize the main tenets of the Civil Rights Act. What did it do? Provision 1, it ended discrimination in public places, okay? We can put that in the column of desegregation, okay? Saying that we should all come together, the two races or whichever other groups were here, right? So that's what it did. It's a bill in Congress, okay? Just like Obamacare, just like all the hundreds of bills that are passed every session. This was a bill, but a very consequential bill, okay? I'm never gonna minimize the importance of this bill. But I think what us and a lot of commentators on the internet forget to talk about is they fail to see that this is just a piece of legislation, and the only time there's enforcement is if somebody violates. It doesn't mean people do not violate, okay? Because I can say that yes, there is no discrimination officially in public places, but there are still places in this country where black people or melanated people cannot go, okay? Ban discrimination by state and local governments. Okay, so this is now the federal system, the local system, same discrimination. Okay, so the first two tenets are still discrimination. Then school desegregation. All right, Title IV allowed people to go to school regardless of your race. You could go to a white school. All right. Now, if you think to modern times, yes, legally you can ban people from going to school based on their race. Okay, that's the law. But if you make enough money and you go to live in a certain parts of suburbia in America, you're almost guaranteed that you're going to achieve some level of segregation based on income. So these divisions are still there. All right. Then equal access to federally funded programs. Now, I mean, if you are here and you're not really interested in federal funded programs, this really does not apply. This is for people that want to do federal contracting and all kinds of things, right? The 5 is one of the biggest things. Employment discrimination, right? It prohibited employment discrimination, which meant that the subsequent bills, like the Immigration Act, allowed for people to migrate to the United States. So this is where a lot of these FBAs use as checkmate for black immigrants. Well, if not for this, you won't be able to work here. But they wouldn't have been able to work too. So the main recipient of this bill was black Americans and other minority groups that were present in the United States. Okay? The consequence of this is not just based on the act. I mean, the act will have some effects on it. But let's think about all the advanced countries in the world. Okay? They all compete economically. Every country in the world. And if there was no Immigration and Nationality Act, there would be no SpaceX. There certainly won't be no Starlink. There will be no Tesla. I believe that regardless of what happened, whether the bill was passed or not, capitalism and the free market would have forced the US government to make some immigration laws, just like Belgium has, just like the United Kingdom has. They didn't have a Civil Rights Act. Australia didn't have a Civil Rights Act. All these nations didn't have Civil Rights Act. But yet, England doesn't have a Civil Rights Act. Yet England has, and France, the most African immigrants live in England and France because they were an ex-colony, okay? So this idea that we're only here as a consequence of the Civil Rights Act is a lie, because these countries, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, have all opened their doors to immigration. And this immigration is also responsible for a lot of the success of modern America. And they're going to use this legislation that was passed for their population as a means to tell you that you can't be critical of them, and that they can call you all kinds of names, right? They can demean you, yet you have no means to push back. And you're supposed to accept this and be quiet. It's a way of dominating you. And the most painful part of this is most of the times, the least achieving and least participants of the American economy are the people that will use this against you. The guys that are not working hard enough, the guys that are not taking advantage of these same rights that they have, equal or proportional to you. Most of them have a head start before you even show up here. Yet they want to go back to 1965, something they did not participate in, something they did not work in, as a way to corner you so that you don't have a say. And I see even those that believe they are Pan-Africans and all these other groups, they always fall back to this piece of legislation. Okay? And that is also to minimize your work. Because every one of us that works today, clocks in, clocks out, I don't care how big or small your job is, or drives Uber, pays taxes, you are still contributing equally to the progress of this nation or whichever nation you live in. And we've come to, this community seems to want to always fall back on historical prowess over modern day effort. Okay, so your college that you went to doesn't matter anymore. Your blue collar job that you have, that you go to every day, no longer matters. Doesn't mean anything. you know, uh, when you're a nurse and you're taking care of sick Americans, when you're a researcher and you're working in pharmaceuticals and having breakthroughs in drug and therapeutics, your work no longer matters. But a YouTuber that is using a platform that is mostly developed by immigrants, right? If you go to Palo Alto, you know, right? They have the right to tell you that you cannot be critical because some ancestors fought for civil rights. Remember, this was not a war. The Civil Rights Act was a legislation. It was like any bill that we vote for. It was only consequential because it formally ended discrimination at the federal and the state level. It doesn't mean discrimination does not exist. Whether you discriminate or not is in your heart as a person. Black people discriminate, white people discriminate. White people are racist, black people are racist. All those are at individual level. There are jobs in America today that are going to be posted for all of us to be able to apply to. But you may not get the job, maybe because you're black, right? You may not get the job, maybe because you're black, but it's a violation of Civil Rights Act. They will find a loophole to employ somebody else and say that person was equally qualified. So these laws are in place. It doesn't mean those injustices don't exist. They still do. It may not be as much, but they do. And I think it's really disingenuous for Black Americans when there's an argument or debate to tell Africans and Caribbean people that, hey, you are here because of us. So because you are here because of us, and it's not true. We've just proven why it's not true. When we call you booty scratcher, when we call you whatever names, when we mock your hairline, whatever we do to you, when we say the most derogatory and mean things to you, you cannot say anything back. And if you do, you are being ungrateful. This is the argument they are all trying to make. And I say bullshit to that, okay? There is something called social identity theory. And I'm going to talk about this briefly, okay? So here are some scenarios. Because people before me sacrificed, you owe me something regardless of how I treat you. Okay? I'll repeat. Because people before me sacrificed, you owe me something regardless of how I treat you. I can treat you so badly, but you still owe me something. Okay? But then meanwhile, every one of you immigrants and natives, you are working in science, technology, medicine, engineering, space exploration, countless fields. You're making sacrifices every day that the next generation of humans are going to enjoy. But then some underperforming individuals, so people that are not pulling their weight in modern times, which is a lot of these FBAs on the internet, right? Very underperforming people, like benefits pro max, right? Eating benefits to the core. These people are going, in present, they are going to look at you and say, you have to pay homage because my ancestors got this bill to pass. My ancestors got this bill to pass. What bill have you gotten to pass for the next generation of Americans? How long are you going to keep saying we was to we are? At some point, you have to look at yourself and say, this is not good enough. You know, like no other group do that. Like even if Black Americans move to Ghana, I don't look back and say, hey, we fought for independence and you're in Ghana enjoying that freedom. No Ghanaian says that. Right? It's a very dumb premise because, like I said, even if these bills were passed for your 51 million population, okay, it was passed for your 51 million population. The majority, and this is something they miss, the majority of Africa immigration into the United States started in the 90s under a new bill, under Bill Clinton, that introduced something called the Diversity Visa Lottery, DV Lottery as we call it. This is when a lot of Africans really started coming. This is when you're starting to see a lot more Africans. And the only requirement to get into the lottery was quota based on your country and how many of your country's representatives lived in the US. And the only minimum requirement was that you should have graduated high school. That's it. That was the only requirement. Salute to you, Ace Kids. Let me read your comments. I'm doing better with reading your comments. Doing much better. Where are you? Let me find you. I know you popped up on the screen. Ace Kids is saying, shout out to Nana in the chat. Taking a break from studying for this AWS. You're doing the AI certification. Oh, wow. On Saturday. Good luck to you, my brother. Good luck to you, man. Good luck to you. Yep. Good. I'm glad you pointed this out because this falls in line with what we're talking about. Like that this generation, we are the richest of all humankind. We have reduced poverty to levels that has never been seen in human history. And now we're moving into a new frontier. So this man putting in that effort to get that AI certification is going to do something in artificial intelligence that will help the next generation of Americans, regardless of their race, regardless of where people come from. And this is what I think, like I said, if we're going to get ahead of diaspora wars, I think this is where we all come in, where we start looking at things like this. Like, where do we go to advance ourselves as a collective? It doesn't mean we can't call out our deficiencies. They're always going to be there. There is no perfect society. But we have to change the focus from this O'Shea style roast of communities to discussions about how we get ourselves ready for the AI revolution, because it's here right now. We're living that time right now. Jada is saying Nana is preaching tonight. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes we got some notes. I'm gonna need them old folks on the internet to turn their hearing aids up. Okay, I'm watching this while driving. Sorry if the comments are in full sentences. Okay, I got you. Is it clear in your car? Can you hear me? I'm very sensitive about the audio because I'm not using my traditional setup. Okay, thank you for that support. So, and I'm gonna take some of your comments that are not supers. Let me get through this small piece here, and then I'll pick some of your other comments too. Okay, so everything that we do individually today counts. Okay, it counts. And if you're gonna get into arguments with people from other groups or other black people because they were born somewhere or because they came from somewhere, right? Then let these conversations be about issues. I mean, pick the specific issues to talk about. When you've made these conversations about things that disparage these people, right? Then they are equally, I mean, they should be able to say mean things to you as well. That's my school of thought. I have no interest in disparaging black Americans. Absolutely no interest. No immigrant comes to the United States to disparage black Americans. Actually, if you go back and you ask any immigrant what their first viewpoints were when they came into contact with black Americans, it would not be something negative, because a lot of us grew up in the Tupac Biggie era and we sang these hip hop songs. I mean, before it turned into what it's turned today. Okay, but a lot of us, this is what TV in Africa showed us. So we thought these people were cool, right? That was the mindset coming in. Okay, and but then when you get here, and I mean, I didn't come here at a younger age, so I don't have these experiences, but I've seen TikToks, I've seen people share their experiences. And it's not everybody, like I said, I think there's a lot of generational shift into these things. And we're not going to get everybody on board or everybody perfect. There's always going to be people that are going to be at the extreme ends of everything that we talk about, right? There's going to be people that have more moderate stance, people that are indifferent, people that are like Tariq level extreme, or maybe Nana level extreme. Yes, there are people like me, okay? But at the end of the day, if we don't make these debates about issues and we make it about people's features, derogatory slurs, then you are inviting these immigrants to disrespect whatever you think is sacred to you, including your Civil Rights Act. You open that Civil Rights Act to slaughter. You've made it possible for the immigrant to say whatever he wants to say to you because he needs to defend himself. Okay, he needs to defend himself. If you think you can look at a Sierra Leonean lady or a Liberian lady and call her some names, and she's not supposed to push back or speak her mind, then you're being disingenuous. If you have to be able to take whatever comes your way, like whatever you're dishing out, you should be willing to take it. Okay, so yes, they can make the conversations about delineation. We are not like you, they are not like us. Nobody cares. But when you start making thumbnails that are looking like these humans are barbarians, and showing images to disrespect them or to demean and belittle them, don't be surprised if some African fires up some YouTube channel and says all kinds of things in favor of their community. It is what it is. And I've seen some people say, well, you Africans started it. Bullshit. How many Africans are on YouTube and TikTok? A lot of us just started creating channels, you know? And these slurs they even talk about, most immigrants didn't say those slurs to your face. It was internal conversation until Godfrey's wide mouth started putting things like that on mainstream. This was just something that mostly Nigerian Americans or Nigerians said within their communities, within themselves. There's even Africans, especially Southern Africans and East Africans, that have never heard that term. This was a strongly West African thing that was said between the two groups. It's not widespread. How many people are walking around saying that word to people's faces? Nobody does that. It was something they said locally within themselves in their local languages. And I'm sure there's many more derogatory words like that that I don't know in other languages. Everybody has a slur for other people. Okay, you guys have a slur for us. We have a slur for you. Okay, for the white folks, they don't say the N word. I don't say the N word either, and I'm black, but I don't say the N word. I don't use it. I don't think I have a passport to say it. Frankly, it's not a word I like. That's why I say ninja. Okay, it's not really a word that I like, so I don't really say it. I just say ninja. So, and the reason I train myself not to say that word is corporate. I don't want to make a mistake and have my mouth spill words like this and end up getting myself in trouble. So I decided in the beginning that I was never going to use this word. Okay, but anyway, we talked on slurs. But what I'm trying to say is, one, my ancestors suffered, therefore I automatically deserve respect. Well, and I'm saying that's not true. Okay, this reflects something called social identity theory, the tendency for people to derive part of their identity and sense of entitlement from their group's history and experiences. Right. So an example is, my ancestors suffered, therefore I automatically deserve respect. If you're a man and you're not waking up to go to work, you're not a productive member of society, you're out there committing crimes, you're always impulsive, mistreating others, disrespecting others, you don't deserve respect. I don't care even if your ancestors built America. I don't care if you are the owner of the America or if you are the royal family of America. You will receive equal levels of disrespect. You have to earn this respect. And this is what Black America needs to understand. You're not just going to be respected because you're existing. You're going to be respected based on how you treat people and what you do for your communities. You can't be a bomb and expect me to respect you. Bullshit. It's not going to happen. Okay? Go get that respect from somebody else. You'll not get it from me. And this is across the board. You have to earn those respect. If you don't live up to a certain standard, your own people are not going to respect you. It's not even a nana thing. Your own regular citizens are going to look at you and say, man, you're over here committing crimes, you're over here doing this BS. I can't respect you just because you're part of a collective. There's going to be Black Americans that I respect, and they know themselves. They don't even need to ask for that respect because they know themselves. They earn that respect. And you're not going to get collective respect from the Black immigrant if you don't do things that are deemed respectable. Anyway, I'll leave you guys with that. Now let's go to Kenganda. Let me take some of your comments and then we'll go to Kenganda. Let me broaden out my screen so that I can see you guys. Okay. Rainbow the God says what? NBA lottery? What is? Okay, I guess it's something you guys are talking about there in videos. Africans want to judge their success by carefully selected immigrant rejected logic. I don't know if I understood. I don't want. Maybe you are responding to somebody, and I just picked on this. Uh, Somebody say Deuces is saying the Civil Rights Act played its role of luring him to the West. Okay, right. I mean, like you can't discount that, but like I'm saying, there's a lot of advanced countries in the world. They all have different immigration programs. Legislation always changes based on what a country needs. And if there was a skill shortage or if there was an industrial boom at any time in America's expansion and they needed immigrants, they would make the laws to attract the immigrants. And if there's a time they have more and they don't need immigrants, they'll make laws to send the immigrants home, like today, right? The job market, we're at full employment. America doesn't need any more immigration for a little bit, except for maybe specialized immigration. So it makes sense for immigration law to tighten up. And this is all what I believe is all these things are a consequence of the free market system. America always has to compete with other nations. When you build a nation and it's great, it stays as great as it is based on how you can dominate other nations. And this is why they will compete with the Soviets, the Chinese on the rise. And part of that expansion is to attract the best talent and the best skills. And if the US government needed more skills and more immigration, they would have found a way to bring people on. That's all I'm saying. So, what happened in the 60s that still didn't attract a lot of immigration from Africa? Remember, geographically, it doesn't favor us. The 90s is where you're starting to see a lot of immigration due to the diversity visa lottery. That's when you're starting to see a lot of people come here in droves due to the diversity program that was launched under Bill Clinton. But people coming here to educate themselves and go home. I mean, we established in one of our live streams, even though it was a much smaller number, that already started in the 1800s. They were always coming here. Remember, this act was only to desegregate. It didn't mean that it was hostile to live in America. It was just to broaden opportunities for all people, regardless of your race. You know, that's what the act was. So it was mostly beneficial to the people the act was made for. We're just a consequence of it. And like I'm saying, this is why they are not opening the doors for all Africans to move here. This is selective immigration, right? You just can't move. I mean, it's not that easy to come to the US. It's not easy at all. I think there's like I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but most people won't get a visa even to visit, just to even visit and shop on Fifth Avenue in New York. Most people won't be allowed to visit. Most people won't have the money to buy the air tickets. But with the diversity visa lottery, it opened up quotas for most people to be able to travel to the US, which is way like something that happened in the 90s, 30 years ago. So what you're seeing today is a consequence of that legislation, because it was part of a legislation under Bill Clinton. And I think that also holds equal weight, to the Civil Rights Act. But like I said, I don't want to take any credit for what Black Americans did during the Civil Rights era, right? That's your history. It's a very sensitive topic. All I'm saying is you only keep it as sacred only if you show respect to the Black immigrants. If you use that as a defense for not receiving punches back, it's not going to work, because it's not going to shield you from being insulted if you go ahead and insult somebody. Okay. You go and insult somebody, that civil rights law becomes bullshit, because people are going to dig holes into it and disrespect it. And they are always going to come on top because of how sensitive it is. So it's up to you to decide what you want to do. You want to keep disrespecting these people? Well, then the Civil Rights Act is fair game if they disrespect it. That's all I'm saying. All right. So now let's switch over to Kinganda. go over here. I noticed something in the early hours of yesterday, and that I was monitoring this because this is where this guy did a lot of his nonsense. So I put it on a monitoring where I observe and watch whether he's coming online, what he's posting. I don't necessarily watch the videos because I don't want to frankly give him the views. I just watch it to see just topic based if it's something of interest before I actually watch the video. And if you go to the live tab, let me make sure you guys can see this. If you look at the live tab over here, those 3 live streams have been deleted. Okay? I hope you guys can see it. The last live stream posted is 3 months ago. So he waited for the revenue to post and he took it down. So now the question is, why did Oshay take it down? I didn't ask him to take it down. I don't know if anybody asked him to take it down. This is childish behavior. I don't take down my videos. Whatever I've said on the internet, I've seen certain clips of me going around, but I own up to it. Yes, I said it. Why is he deleting this? The one about Wodemaya was deleted the very day he made it. See, that is an indication that Oshay knows that most of the things he's saying is not factual and it's also offensive. This is a deliberate tactic to offend Africans. Most of my commentary is usually a rebuttal to something that I've heard. Okay? It's a rebuttal to things that I've heard. They are not preemptive. This guy out of nowhere makes these live streams, insults Africans, and then takes it down. You know? And that tells me a lot about his state of mind as an individual. This guy is almost 45, 46 years old. And if you look at the thumbnail, old, immature, and broken. Okay? This is something immature people do. Young, like little kids do. You do something, you pull back. You do something, you pull back. Why not just stand on business? You know, I'm going to give black folks credit for something, black folks know how to stand on business. Why haven't you stood on business? You're supposed to stand on business. If what he truly said about Africans was true and it's something he believed in, why has he removed it? Keep it up. The people that have reacted to it have already reacted to it. Or when in doubt and you are drinking, don't fire up live streams. I'll never fire up a live stream in that state of mind if I don't have self-control. And that's one of the things that Oshay needs to do. You know, I really, really wanted to move on from this guy because when I've had conversations with somebody, I personalize my conversations with people and I didn't want to go back and do the things that I used to do to him. So he brought this upon himself. But if you're going to make videos like this, keep it up so that we know the type of energy that you're on. If you put 3 videos you've taken down, all 3 videos are offensive. If you are this offensive about the people, don't live amongst them. You know, I don't understand what he's going through. And this is what I'm saying. If Oshay doesn't get help, right? If he doesn't get help, he's going to get himself in trouble. And this is what, for my American audience, sometimes you guys don't understand. We're not trying to say anything should happen to Oshay. We're not like those. We are not that type of people. But you got to remember, this is Africa. There's a lot of spirituality on that continent. I don't care even if it's East Africa. It's not only in the West. There's a lot of spirituality on that continent. And when you start to rub people the wrong way, like the guys he got fired from a workplace, Oshay got some people fired at work in Uganda. All those guys, they won't physically harm you, but they can harm you spiritually. And that's a problem. That's a problem. You have to really be careful when you're navigating Africa and its spirituality and how people can take you down for the smallest things. And he seems to be risking way too much. He gets a little room, then he risks a bit more. And sometimes I really feel for him. I was like, dude, you are still in Africa. At least in the US, there are some laws, there are some rules. There isn't a lot of these evil spirits and juju and all these powers. There's a lot of powers moving around that continent, man, that sometimes you have to be very, very careful. At least get out of there before you make videos like that. I'm sure when he gets back home, finally, he would have a lot to say about the African people, but at least you're gone. But if you are in Uganda and you got Ugandans fired, that is a dangerous place to be. Even if you've bribed them and settled them and stopped the grudge, you are opening yourself to some dangerous things. And he seems not to listen. And this is one of the things that, I've noticed with Black Americans, is sometimes they just don't listen. You saw the video of the Shaniqua lady that I did on the main channel. Like sometimes they just don't listen until it's too late. So now the question is, why has Oshay taken the video down? If he felt so strongly about it, why has he chickened out? He's supposed to keep it up. But you're chickening out. I think I missed some comments. Let me go and get it. Salute to you, Kobe. Deuce say Nigerians even call Nigerian American cat. Yeah. It's a feral cat. They just say to everybody that is foreign or that doesn't know how they do things. Like I said, I don't use the word. I put it on thumbnail for Oshay because Oshay used the word theta in his thumbnails. That's why I did it for the first time. I don't use that word. I don't even use the N word, And I'm probably the more radical person, so I should be doing it. But I don't use slurs. Like when you use slurs, that means you're not confident in your argument. You're supposed to argue based on the issues. Once you start moving towards slurs, I'm like, that means you don't really have some belief in your ability to debate or argue over issues. And that's where it moves from just arguments to just flat out disrespect. And this is why you're getting a lot of Africans disrespecting your Civil Rights Act. I missed a comment. I'm going to find it. I think it's Jada again. Jada is saying with the Supreme Court ruling on birthright citizenship, Trump's tweet about was to congratulate China on their win. What do FBAs call first generation Chinese? Or are they too chicken to back up that post? Yeah, this is very similar to what is happening with South Africa. That they seem to know what powers they can back against, right? If it's the white folks, they seem to stay away. If it's the system, they know their limits. But now I think the idea is that the Africans and the Caribbean people are timid. They rank us below them, regardless, even if they've done nothing, right? And because of that complex, a lot of them think that we're going to be a soft target for their online bullying. All this is online bullying. This is what it is. This Tariq Nasheed thing is bullying. And I blame the Haitians, the Africans, the Caribbeans that go on his platform to have conversations with him. He's only gonna clip them and get views off of it. That's all he does. So you're helping him monetize the nonsense. I'm like, why do you guys? It's mostly guys from the UK and overseas that keep calling in. You're not supposed to call him. Go to a platform that is a safe space or that wants to really debate the real issues. Tariq Nash's channel is not for debate. It's only to mock you, right? So I don't know why people want to go there and have conversations with him. And then he's going to come and make these thumbnails. If you don't show up to Tariq's channel, he doesn't have any content. So you're letting him monetize because you're going to say something funny or they're going to mock your accent. Then they'll use that as a way to generate content. All his content and call-ins are not coming from his FBAs. They are coming from Africans that think they can out-argue Tariq. But you cannot out-argue Tariq because he mutes you all the time. Tariq Nasheed will never let me speak for 5 minutes straight. This is why I've never been on his platform. Salute to you, Nigerian Foundation American. That's why I've never been on his platform. So it's only going to work if Tariq is open to side-by-side debate on the issues, which he will never do. Because I know every argument that he wants to make. The dude doesn't even know what lineage means. He doesn't know what lineage means. He separates, he mixes separatism from delineation. It's like he's mixing those two things up all the time. he never reads. He's never read a book. You know, I have on order one of the books that he's been referring to uh, about the, it was a German author that he refers to about the artifacts, the Indian artifacts that existed in North America way before the transatlantic slave trade, that he's basing that off the fact that there were people that look like us on this side of the Atlantic, and he's been running away with it. So I decided I was going to order a copy of the book, but I'm just saying to myself, yes, I'm going to get the book. I'm going to read the book, even though I've read excerpts of people that have debunked that book. But even if I read the book, I can't have a debate with Tariq because he's always going to mute me as soon as the question comes up. So at this point, it's only for entertainment. Tariq is an entertainer. I don't think he really wants to debate these issues because, frankly, he's not a good debater. Secondly, he doesn't have the information. So this is why he uses the mute button. So I think where we're going to move on next is to start telling Africans on TikTok to just not patronize that platform. If you really want to have a deeper debate about this lineage, lineage-based identity issues with Pan-Africanism and Africans and Caribbean people, I think you need to go to platforms where you're going to be allowed to at least speak, where there can be real fact checks in real time when you say certain things. This is when a lot of them are going to be exposed. But I find it very interesting with all the issues that are going on in America, that Black people think that this is the most important thing to support. That really blows my mind. And then with the way jobs and opportunity is starting to shift, in the next 5 years, we're going to move into a phase two of the AI expansion. We're going to move into phase two. And if you're not AI savvy in terms of the technicalities, right? Or maybe in healthcare or in industries that you can actually use your hands or machines, there's a high possibility that you're going to be unemployed unless you move yourself into something that is more innovative. You would have to innovate. And that is going to be a very big challenge for minority groups, especially Black Americans, because first of all, you're supposed to get the first level of educational attainment, which is get through high school. So dropout rates have to drop significantly. We have to graduate more students. We have to get more students into thinking forward towards science, technology, engineering, and math. And then we have to direct these kids and mentor these kids to be able to hold the line. I mean, I'm talking about being able to even hold the line. I'm not saying progress, but hold the line. These phases is enough to destroy the Black American fabric, the family, I mean, there are problems with the family, but you think that these are problems? Let's look at what's going to happen over the next 5 years when AI really, really takes over. Like my company, in our warehouses, we have robots. We've been deploying robots in our warehouses. And most of those jobs in Houston were Hispanics and blacks that were doing those jobs. Their jobs are gone because robots are doing that. Amazon distribution, Walmart distribution centers, they are all deploying robots today. So if you don't start thinking outside the box and you spend all your energy entertaining Tariq, there's gonna be a time you'd have to look in the mirror and ask yourself, what am I gonna eat today? How am I gonna pay my bills tomorrow? How am I gonna be able to provide a pathway for my children to thrive? These are all very important questions that these black folks need to start asking themselves instead of crying racism over everything. You're crying racism instead of staying focused. You don't want to stay focused. This thing is all entertainment. Tariq Nasheed is an entertainer. I don't hate the dude. I think he's stupid. He's an entertainer that doesn't really care about his community. And, like initially I want to be talking about a lot of these issues, but it's boring. Who wants to listen to this shit on YouTube? Nobody does, right? We all come here to entertain ourselves. But all I'm saying is, even in the midst of entertainment, we talk about very important issues. And we talk about things that can change your focus, cloud computing, getting your certifications done, trying to at least get one certification done every year. Even if it doesn't pay now, it'll pay in 5 years. If you're building, there's a gentleman that was in our chat the other day that builds data centers. Start talking to the young kids to prepare themselves for what is about to happen. Yeah, I've seen in the chat the robots are in the UK too. It's all in the advanced world. The only continent that is a little bit lagging in AI is Africa and Latin America. So there might be a little bit of opportunities there in that part of the globe. But you're not gonna go move there too. So it is what it is. Let me see. Am I missing any comments? Salute to you, Sagat. Brazen is in the house. Salute. Temi is in the house. Salute, salute, salute. Let me see if I'm missing any comments. Nana said Africans ain't got shit or FBAs in basketball. I don't even know if that basketball is gonna hold, man. Right now the white boys are the white boys are taking over when it comes to basketball, right? So it's not even the sports haven't been as dominant as they used to be in the 90s and in the 2000s, right? Right now, European players are starting to take over, and only so many of these kids can make it to the league, right? So it's it's gonna be a rough ride, man. It's gonna be a rough ride. That's all I think. So yeah, O'Shea, no updates. He's just if I'm gonna say, I think I did a review of his channel yesterday. I'm gonna do a deep dive into his analytics, which will broadcast. I might do that tomorrow. And clearly, there are some struggles when it comes to the money, right? When it comes to the money, he's not doing as well as his counterparts. As you can see, a lot of this divisive content is not doing well. 3,000 views, man. This is a channel that has almost 200,000 people, which means whenever he posts a video, 200,000 people see this. So where have all these people gone? Yeah, where have all these people gone, right? I've seen, I've seen people with 2 million subs struggling to get 10,000 views. So can they sustain themselves with this content life? Is it something that they'll be able to do long term? I don't know, man. I'm gonna look at the Austin Holleman files real quick, and I'll put the link in the chat for y'all. All right, David, what we have here? Give me an update.
Strong emotional attachment to Nairobi. What about the barbershop you want to start? And that's another thing too. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about that. I still want to do that, but again, we have to sort out like these stalkers that I have because again, the way how these dudes behave, I feel like they, if I tried to open up a barbershop, they probably would set that motherfucker on fire. Literally, set it.
Man, so Austin Holloman believes that if he opens that shop, we're gonna set it on fire. You crazy? Ah.
On fire, or they would do a bunch of unnecessary shit. Um, so that's gonna have to be straightened out before that even takes into account. Yeah, I got stalkers like the way how I have stalkers the way how a woman would be stalking. Like, I mean, again, these dudes, they make videos constantly. Like, if I eat an apple, them niggas gonna do a live stream about it. And I'm like, damn. Like, what do these dudes do? Like, how the hell do you have a video about everything that I do? That shit is weird. Why would someone set your barbershop on fire? Well, I mean, I don't know. I believe in Africa, if there was a damn food dispensary, they would set that on fire. I don't think you guys understand that there's a lot of, on the continent of Africa, there's a lot of self destructive behavior.
This is the bullshit that I don't understand. He's sitting there in Airbnbs in people's homes. These are all stereotypes. I don't even think they are stereotypes. It's not like that. Maybe rural areas, but even nowadays, these things are not there, man. You just have to be of your best behavior. If you're not of your best behavior, certain things will happen to you. Okay. What is happening with Austin Holloman is self inflicted. This dude knows very well he cannot open a barbershop. He's aware of it. He knows for sure. He doesn't have the paperwork. He's leaving Kenya right now because he doesn't even have a visa to stay there. So he has to do visa runs every 90 days. So if you have to do visa runs every 90 days, what time do you have to start a barbershop? I don't get it. Just say, hey, this thing is a scam. I messed up. Take it down. If you don't want me to make videos about you eating lunch every day, then take down the fundraiser. Then I'll stop. If you don't take down the fundraiser, I'll keep making videos. And you know what is funny? People still watch these videos when I make them. So I'm gonna keep making them. Okay. So I'm making money off of you eating noodles. Because there's always something in there that I can make a video off of. So obviously this thing bothers you. If it's bothering you, do what I ask. It's very simple. You want this to stop? Because I'd rather do O'Shea. You want this shit to stop? Take down the fundraiser. If it doesn't stop, you're gonna, even if you are not part of the topic of the day, you're gonna be put in somewhere. I'm gonna find a way to put you in there. Okay. I'm gonna find you there. Dave has committed to recording the highlights of all your streams. So now I don't even have to go looking for it. I just go to David Smith and I got everything that I need. Okay. So we will get updates on what you're doing and provide our reaction to it. It's gonna bother you. I'll stay on top of those thumbnails. It's in your best interest to take down a fundraiser. If you take it down, then we can get somewhere.
Like, there's a lot of behavior like that, counterproductive, self destructive behavior. Any plans for South America? I'm thinking.
Okay, so that's one of them. Which one is this? Austin arguing with Z. Yeah, I don't think this shit is gonna last, man.
The thing is, even you guys can say a lot of bad things about your president. We can't.
Yeah, the point that I'm making is that y'all can come to our country and say whatever you want, but we can't go to your country and do that shit.
Because you guys in your own country disrespect your own president.
She's not lying.
Yeah, that's the point that I'm making. You said we can say we're gonna go buy Greenland. Yeah, no, you're talking about what the president is saying about another country. I'm talking about individual.
Guys, let's just face it. Americans disrespect their own president.
That's not the
So
point that's
that's
being
why
made.
everybody else can go there and go do and say however they feel.
That's not the
Yeah,
point
we
that's being
can't
made.
even say anything about our presidents. We can't even mock our own presidents. That is what it is.
Yeah, that's not the point that's being made. Okay. Americans are always a guest when they come their home. When they come they are home. What do you mean?
Okay. This is a stupid conversation. Let's move on. What else you got for us? Oh, this is when he was praising Peso Man.
The Peso Man was the best hater that I've ever had make content about me. That dude was like, to this day I still watch his videos. Like, I screen recorded his videos because they were so funny. And he was talking shit about me.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
You showed me his video.
Like, I remember he did a series of videos where he was going around telling people I was the bad bitch of the passport bros. that shit was actually funny.
Grown men doing that.
Yeah.
How is that funny? Anyway, what else you got? This one. This is funny.
All right, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and spill the beans. We're going to Bali.
Can you make up your mind, Ninja? Today you're going to Egypt. Tomorrow is Malaysia. Now is Indonesia, Bali. You know, these are lost people, man.
Yep. So go ahead and call the FBI. What I'll do is whenever we get to the airport lounge, I'll do a live stream from the airport.
Damn, Austin's hair is really thinning, huh? You can see the little corner there is starting to look like. I remember when I started losing my hair. It's right about that time, man. If you're thinning this much at how old is he now? 25? Shit. Wait till you're my age, man. Yeah, you might have to get a hair transplant real quick because I don't think this is gonna fill in. Maybe get some minoxidil or something. I don't know, man. That African sun will do it, bro.
Airport lounge because I have a Klarna card and they give me airport lounge access.
Yeah, that's not a credit card. Klarna card is for just regular stuff. What else you got for me? So yeah, I think we covered most of this the last time we streamed. All right, I'm gonna put a link up. I think I got all the coverage for this guy now. Let me get some of your comments. You said he's 27 years old. Yeah, bro, that African sun will do it to you, man. Okay, so right there we'll do about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, then I'll call it a day because I got a long day tomorrow. It's been a hectic week. That's why I haven't been able to stream. Sema says you guys are losing your grip on your own sport. He's probably talking about basketball. The FBAs are hype because they can jump high. Austin is my son at this point. Yeah, Austin is salvageable, man. Austin is salvageable. Austin is salvageable. He's young. You know, he can be mentored. He's young enough. He's traveled. He's seen the world. He would have to shake off some habits. I don't know if he can get through that, but with the right guidance, he's very, very salvageable. Oshay is gone. Oshay has some mental issues, man. You know, if when I do the video on how Oshay grew up, I'm keeping that for last. But once I break down his upbringing, what like the court documents, what used to happen in his home, Oshay is a very traumatized individual, man. That dude should have never made his way into Ugandan society. He's in trouble, bro. And I think that's very reflective of his channel. People have started seeing that. What LTTV thumbnail? I need to go and check. I need to check. I missed this last live. I was like, damn. I think I did. I post the link? Let me try it again. I think I did, but I don't see it. Let's see. There you go. Okay, I got it back in there. There you go. I got the link up. If you want to come up and say a few words while I go look at LT. You said LT has some thumbnails. There is this. Oh, this one. Cross the line. When is it coming up? 7/17. Is that tomorrow? LT is about to cook me. I like LT TV, man. He has a passport to say whatever, and I won't be mad. Yeah, and the reason is simple. It's because he keeps it he's objective. Okay, he's objective, and I like objectivity, even if I'm wrong. Right? Even if I'm wrong, LT keeps it objective. So even if he's critical of me, I won't be mad. I'll accept that criticism, right? So I know I say some wild stuff. Salute to you, Travis Educator. Yeah. You say I know he will not take down the fundraiser. Well, he knows I will not stop doing the videos. So he would have to pick one, man. Is it today? He's going live in a few minutes. I'll definitely have to. If is it today? No, it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow at 10 in the morning. Yeah, it's tomorrow at 10 in the morning. So I'm definitely gonna be tuning in, watching my brother roast me. I just turn on my notification so that I don't miss it. But it's like I said, LT is I like LT, man. LT is I like him on a personal level, so he's free to roast. But I mean, yeah, he's more pro-black, so of course he needs to keep his FBA support. But I also think he's a little bit more objective, right? So I don't want when you talk these diaspora issues, and in his case, he does YouTube full time. He creates content full time. He does some other production work on the side. You don't want to skew too much to the left of this, right? If you get too much to the Tariq side, he'll probably alienate his Caribbean folks because he has some Caribbean ancestry connections. And then if he gets too much to the other side, he'll lose his bigger audience, which is Black Americans. So that's what I said in one of my videos, like Godfrey and Flacco, they all have to walk a line, right? And this is why O'Shea keeps jabbing them, because if you don't have self-control, you're gonna say something offensive to Black Americans, and once you say some offensive things, you're gonna lose your Black American audience, right? You're gonna lose your Black American audience. So I understand why they have to do that, right? But like for me, in my case, I don't depend on YouTube for a living, so I can say whatever I want, how I feel, and most of the times backed by data. And I will go into the most sensitive parts of any discussion and have an opinion on it, right? So I don't, like, I'm not beholden to a black audience. I'm not beholden to any particular audience. I think I have a weird mix of audiences, man. I got people from all over that watch me. When I look at my analytics, I got dudes in the UK, Australia, Kenya, South Africa. I got people from all over, mostly in the US, a lot of black immigrants, even black Americans. I have quite a bit of black American audiences, right? So, I but I don't pander. That's the thing. I don't pander, and I think that's what some people like. They like the fact that I just say it as it is, right? But I understand them. Even if they are critical of me, I understand them. I understand them because they need to pay the bills. Okay, they need to pay the bills. Um, you don't want to take a side. If you take a side, they might unsubscribe very quickly, right? But in my case, I don't. I don't even keep an eye on my subscriber count unless I get it to a milestone, right? Whenever I reach a milestone, then I look at it. I think in the next 3 days, we're gonna reach 9,000 on the main channel. Can you believe it? Right? Can you believe it? In about I thought it was gonna be in 2 weeks, but when I woke up this morning, we had added 30 subs. So if that trend continues by tomorrow morning, but that's because I also posted 3 videos yesterday and I only posted one today. But if that trend continues, we will reach 9,000 subs this weekend, right? That was a very quick. From 8,000 to 9,000 was fast. 7 to 8 was the fastest. That happened in 1 month. 8 to 9 happened, I think, in 4 months, right? So we're still on track to get to 10,000 by the end of the year. But I don't, like I said, I don't keep so a close eye on it like that. Um, the live channel this is our membership channel. So I don't on this one, I don't even look at the subscriber count. The last time I checked, it was 1,600. I think it's gone up a little bit, right? It's gone up almost 200, 300 people over the last month. And I like this channel better than the main channel because this channel is a live stream channel. So I know that everybody that subscribes here likes live streams. They want to be on live streams. They like the chat rooms. They like to chat it up. Some of you like to come on panels. I put the link up. So if anybody wants to come up, the link is up. You can come up and we can talk over all kinds of things. And then I discovered Dragon is not here today. Dragon is not here. I haven't seen Rick and Chaotic in a long time. But like I said, I know my people. So from time to some of them get busy and they don't show up, but sometimes they'll come. Sagat, all these guys. They've been here since the beginning. Kobe, Akinyi. Some people are busy. They'll pop in from time to time. When I go to, let me look at my list. I found this lady. This one. I thought her content was interesting. I was like, I like to interview her. This lady she's gonna be a superstar. We're gonna have to find her. Let me show you who this lady is. But she is gonna be a superstar, man. I don't know how come nobody told me about her. Her name is Marlene Uncensored, and I think she's Ivorian. And she's been cooking this idiot. This guy is not even FBA. This dude has joined the FBA grift as a tether making FBA content. He's Cuban. He's Cuban, but because he's a personal friend of Tariq Nasheed, and this is the guy that was dick riding Oshay. He's joined the FBA. He makes all this FBA content, speaking all kinds of things about Africans. But that's what he does. I think that thing was about tier 2. Was it 250 Dragon? Let's listen to a little bit of her. If anybody wants to join. If not, we'll just play a little bit.
Some shit is extremely dangerous. Because when you move on, they might not move on. Right? No. You like to say that it's not 400 years of endurance. Not at all. Don't misconstrue the stuff. It's not 400 years of endurance. Oh, we have 40 years of That is not correct. Because every generation stuff is changing. Every generation stuff is changing. And to even start at the 400-year mark and call it Black Americans, that is completely erroneous. Because people do not become American citizens until the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. Before then, they're considered to be Africans. Right? There you go. But once again, you guys, you have a way of mislabeling things because there's a bias you want to believe in. Right? These are African people. The term Black American is actually quite recent. Right? Like if you look at Frederick Douglass, he was not called a Black American. Okay? Black people did not have citizenship in this country until what? 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment. These are the Reconstruction era amendments. That's the 1800s. We are in 2026. So that's just 200 years. Before then, they were classified as African people. There you go. And I get it. Like part of the Black American narrative is to erase African people out of this history, right? No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. The thing is clear on paper. We have a case called the Dred Scott case, where Dred Scott went before the Supreme Court and he was told that he was not a full human, that he was 3/5 of a human being. I guess the rest was animal matter. Right? So I'm like, say things correctly. No, everybody's still here. Even the Native Americans are still here too. But in what condition? Right? A lot of people are still here. Right? Nobody cares if you know, Jamal, I promise you, right, Jamal? I promise you. No one cares if you identify as an African or not. No one cares. No one cares.
True.
The majority of people in Africa, when they wake up in the morning, they're trying to survive. The majority of people in Africa are trying to get something to eat. They could care less if you identify or not. Also, the continent itself has over 1 billion people. 1 billion. Trust me, they do not care. They truly do not care. Africa is the wealthiest continent in the world. They do not care, Jamal. You can barely feed yourself. You have to rely on apps to have sustenance, right? You don't even know how to cook. You don't even have basic life skills. You're probably in your mid-40s. You're not married. All your money goes towards food. And I'm pretty sure you don't even have a personal trainer. So you're probably morbidly obese. You're not a high achiever. You squander money. Why would any African person even want to claim you? Please stay over here. Okay? Like people do not care. Your life is a fucking mess. You are a fucking mess. You spend $2,000. You know how like in Ivory Coast, for example, that's actually millions on to-go food versus cooking, right? That is insane. You have no wife, you have no children. All your money goes to food. You're probably morbidly obese. If anybody asks you, right? Exactly. No, me, it doesn't bother me, sis. Me, it does not bother me. Me, it doesn't bother me. I really believe that people should respect people. I really do. I think people should respect people. Like if somebody says, I don't want you in my circle, I don't think you should force it. That's why I don't believe in diversity, inclusion, equity. No, because if
Oh, this is why Dragon will say she sounds like me. It's like, that's why I don't believe in diversity, equity. I don't either, right? It's like, oh, she sounds like you. That is the link to salute to you there. Is that Jada again? Oh my God, Jada, really? Thank you. I really appreciate you, Don. I like it. What's her handle? I put a link to this video in the chat. If you click that, I think it will take you to her page. But yeah, I'm going to try and see if I can get her to come on. Maybe KF will set something up for us. But clearly, you know, there's a lot of Africans that are speaking now, right? There's a lot of Africans that are speaking now, man. And it's very refreshing. I like it.
someone does not want you in their space, they have the right to say, I don't want you in my space. Right? The issue is when somebody says, I don't want you in my space, but then they take issue with somebody else then saying to them, well, I too don't want you in my space. Right? We got to keep the same energy. But it doesn't bother me, babe. It doesn't bother me. If you say, oh, Marlene, because you're African, I don't want to hang with you. Perfect. You're Black American. I don't want to hang with you either. You might shoot my ass. Right? I don't want to hang out with you either. To me, it's perfectly fine. The issue is that in America, we are forcing people to be inclusive when they don't have to be. Just because somebody is excluded, it doesn't mean people are trying to be mean. Nobody wants to be mean. I have the right to say, hey, she's Black American. She thinks a certain way. And the way she thinks, the way she handles conflict, the way she moves, it makes me feel unsafe. Because per my culture, that's not how we handle conflict. So I don't want to be around that. Right? I have the right to say that. The problem is today you say, oh, that's so offensive, right? Just like so many Black Americans who take issues with African people not liking them. The issue is not liking you. The issue is that people are just not compatible. A lot of things that modern day Black Americans do.
It's not what I've been saying. This is what I'm saying. This whole thing is because people are not listening. If you take the Black immigrant and you forget his skin color, you're gonna you're gonna be very compatible in how you treat each other. It'll be the same as how you treat a Korean man, a Chinese man. The problem with these things is we are drawn by race, and with that race component, we are seeing each other as separate people, but we're failing to admit that we're separate people. And because there's a school of thought out there that, oh, you're Pan-African, you're Africans. And there's another school of thought that says, no, we're just from here. And I think the right approach is to say, hey, I'm American. There's nothing wrong with being American. I'm born and raised here. Yes, the history suggests that we're brought here as slaves, all the stuff that happened. But this is where I live, and this is the roots that I can trace. This is where I can trace it up to, right? And anybody that comes from Jamaica, Sub-Saharan Africa, we're just tourists, visitors, right? We're just visiting your land. We're just here. Some of us maybe are working temporarily. And if you see me walking outside, you greet me the same way you greet a white man, or hi, hello, and then walk away. And if you find somebody that you are compatible with, and maybe something draws you closer, as long as what is drawing you closer has nothing to do with race, you're going to have a much better relationship. The problem is that we're trying to say, because all of us have the skin tone, we're supposed to be alike or align or champion each other's causes. And that is fundamentally wrong. And I think this is very unfair to the Africans, because we've been boxed in this corner to go to be on, quote unquote, be on code and to follow all these black causes. And from what she's saying, she doesn't even believe in all these diversity programs. I don't either. I don't believe in anything that is not seen as competition. Free market competition, and it's free competition in everything that I do. That's what motivates me to work. I don't want to be given stuff. Like, I don't want to have that mindset of being excessively race conscious and having issues with white people and other groups. The boycott stuff, all these things they do. I mean, I just can't rock with it. It doesn't fit me ideologically. And now you're hearing other people. I'm glad that all these Africans have YouTube channels now, and they are speaking, right? If black folks in this country take the emotions out and listen to exactly what we are saying, they'll understand that there's no conflict. It's just a misunderstanding of our purpose and the things and who we are culturally. That's what it is. We're supposed to be seen just as any other groups that are not from America, and they are supposed to accept that they are Americans. And I mean, it's a privilege to be American, right? Not every people are crossing seas to be Americans, right? So, you saying you're not African should not offend me, because I know you don't have to tell me that. I know you're not African. You don't speak a language deemed African, right? For me to consider you African. You just have a skin tone. Maybe your initial source started from Africa, but you're a different person. You have different family roots, different traditions, different foods, different culture, right? I'm not one of those guys that say, oh, they don't have a culture. No, culture is the way a group of people live. And if you guys have an identical thing that is unique to you, then that forms the basis of your culture. So you do have a culture, and that culture is very different from our culture, or even our cultures, because we have a plethora of them, because we are completely group different people. Both sides should not be offended by that. It's just an acceptance that, hey, y'all are over here and we're over here. That's it. And whenever we come into contact, it should be hello, hi, and walk by. That's it. And if you run into a black guy that you guys have some stuff in common, maybe your kids play together, or is your neighbor, or your kids go to the same basketball games, or your children have something in common that brought you together, or you go to the same church, or you go to the same college, and you become friends, then that is the same way as you becoming friends with a white guy or another group, right? That's what it should be seen. Looking at this race first, sorry, looking at this race first is what is driving a lot of this conflict.
Whether the way you handle conflict, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, right? It is just not compatible with Western traditional, Western African values. We're just not compatible. That's it. It's nothing like, oh, I'm better. No, we're just not compatible. But to a lot of Black Americans, they take umbrage to the fact that a lot of Africans are running behind them to be their friend. Nobody has to run behind you. I live my life a certain way. You live your life a certain way. We're just not compatible. I look at life a certain way. You look at life a certain way. We're just not compatible. I look at marriage a certain way. You look at marriage a certain way. We're just not compatible. And that's okay, right? But the main issue is that a lot of Black Americans cannot stand the fact that other people don't find them compatible for what they want to do. It's like, oh, you're an immigrant, so you need to kiss my ass. I don't have to kiss shit, right? Oh, you an immigrant. You owe me respect. I don't owe you shit.
That's just what we talked about, right? I mean, see, this I like when I listen to sisters like this, sometimes I have no reaction. I just have a lot of admiration, um, because now Nana is not the, people would hear my commentary and say, "Oh, this guy is crazy." No, I'm not crazy, right? Uh, you have to understand that sometimes it's just these two groups are just not compatible. It's not that one person is better than the other. No, nobody is saying this is better or that is better. You have to accept the fact that we're two different people, two different groups, championing two different things, having different ideologies. And if occasionally you have some mad people, on the diaspora side that would believe that they are supposed to change their names to Nanakwaku. You're not supposed to do that. That you're supposed to be wearing some dashiki. You're not supposed to do that. Just wear your nice American fashion, American jeans. If you go to Africa, you're a tourist. You're just like Becky going on a safari. Do your safari, have some drinks, and go on back home, just like it. And if you're thinking of doing an expat life there for a year or chilling out there for 1 year, and you make some local friends, that's just what it is. Like when I lived in Colombia, I wasn't walking around forcing Afro-Colombians to be Africans. I didn't do that. I accepted the fact that they were Colombians because I can tell when they speak Spanish that they are Colombians, right? Same here. I can tell that you're American when you speak English. And that's okay. It's not it's like, I always use this analogy. The European, from the Netherlands, when they migrate to the US, because they migrate too. When they migrate to the US, they don't go into white America trying to be friends with them or call them your lost cousin. They don't do that. They say, "Oh, I'm from the Netherlands." That's it. I'm from Ghana. That's it. They should have never started a conflict if you understood what we've understood, that we're completely two different people. Now, yes, there are people that are on our side too that have this Pan-Africanist ideology. I used to at some point too, but I don't. I think it's a foolish way of thinking because it makes somebody feel deficient in that relationship. That's why you hear Black Americans always say, "Oh, we are the only ones working for Pan-African, but the Africans are not." Well, Pan-Africanism is a socialist construct. So it doesn't fit the current governance of most African countries. It's anti-capitalist. It feels like a socialist movement in a way. Only the African unity component is important to me. So therefore, I can't be part of the extended ideology. My African unity doesn't mean we should erase Africans' borders. That's stupid. That's disrespectful to Africa's sovereignty as sovereign states. Is there any continent on the world that is one country? Absolutely not. There is no example in this world where the people of Asia or the people of Latin America, whose map just looks like the African map reversed, are one country. So why should we? You know what I mean? No other person is doing it. Why are you requiring that of us? No, we are all sovereign nations, including South Africa and whatever is going on there. I'm not mad at them. We are all sovereign nations, and we have to respect our sovereign rules that governs us as a people. This is why when I go to Zambia, sometimes I get lost because I don't speak the local language. Okay? And they know I'm not Zambian, and that's okay. I'm not mad at it. Okay? If I want to be fully accepted into Zambian culture, I have to learn Nyanja or Bemba, and I'm failing to learn that. So until I learn, I can't just blend in like that. And that's okay, but that's also Africa. If I go to Angola, I don't speak Portuguese, I'm not going to fit in, right? They're going to be able to tell. So all these things, different cultures, different groups, different languages, why are you expecting us to be one country? No. The African unity I want is economic integration, cultural exchanges so we can learn more about each other, and friendly relations amongst our peoples. That's it. That's all it's required. Each country is going to develop separately. We're not all going to do it at the same pace. Some countries are going to keep fooling around, like Eastern Congo, right? They're going to keep fighting. I can't stop that. I can't take the blame for that, right?
I don't owe you shit. Oh, you an immigrant. You have to know my history. Do you know your own history? Right? Always requiring things from immigrants that you don't require from yourself. It's an inherent lack of integrity. And that's the real issue. Have integrity. Before you tell a foreigner, know my history, you not only need to know your history, but you need to carry yourself as if you know your history. But most Black Americans don't know their history. They don't, and that's why we are where we are today. People don't know their history. So people just, oh, whatever I see in the media, I'm a liberal, I'm progressive, I'm pro-LGBTQ, I'm this, I'm that. I hate the church. The Bible is a white man's book. So it leads to all kinds of disarray. And that's fine. That is perfectly fine. Right? But it's people should be able to say that. Even white people also should be able to say, hey, I don't want to see Black Americans in my space. But you can't take that. Right? There you go. So you want to say, oh, you're African or you're Asian. Don't be in my community. But every day we turn around, you're begging or you're blackmailing white people to be in their shit. Right? No, keep the same energy. If you don't want Africans and Asian in your community, don't go to the whites because it seems like they also don't want you. And I don't know how many ways they have to tell you that. They call you the N-word. They have Turning Point USA. They make movies where they have you looking crazy. They subsidize the music industry to make you look insane. And how many ways do the whites have to say, we don't want no parts in you. We don't want to be involved. Carmelo sat next to white people. Now look at where he is today. They don't want to be involved, but you cannot respect that. Right? Like you don't want the Africans to be at Essence Fest, but you want to go to Coachella. They don't want you at Coachella. Right? No, but it's not just your country, babe. That's the
You don't see white people moving to the hood, right? This whole thing, but everybody, as soon as they come up on money, want to move to suburbia, which is predominantly white, right? So it feels like one group is still trying to segregate itself for their peace of mind, which I understand. But then when you come and integrate into them, you still have a problem with them. You know, your kids go hang out with their kids and something happened, Nolan, all of a sudden it's racism. So what do you want? Do you want integration? Do you want separation? And like you said, it's not only your country, it's a multicultural country with different tribes, different races, different ethnicities, all kinds of people. This is a melting pot. There's all kinds of people here, right? And you are really a strong minority. But I mean, some of these minority groups are growing and growing in numbers. And the Hispanics have already surpassed the blacks in numbers, right? So you can't claim ownership of America by itself. You can't tell one particular group, the Africans, to go home if Massa says, no, we want to keep these folks here, right? Because they make these rules for us to even be able to come here. Notice they don't even take credit for it. I haven't seen white folks say, hey, we brought you guys to the US, which they did. Okay. I mean, for me, in my case, my visas, everything that I did, the institution that I attended, the professor that accepted my admission was a white man. Okay. Plant halt. So there was no black man in that chain. Yet I'm supposed to pay homage to black folks for some civil rights acts, right? Okay, fine. I've given that to you. No problem. But those acts were made for you. It was made for you to be able to have opportunity and to desegregate institutions so that there is no discrimination. And that was done to favor you so that you can have that mobility. If as a consequence of that, other groups come to America, because mind you, there's a lot of immigration to America. If all these other groups come to America and one group is thriving, not everybody, but for the most part, are doing slightly well, and they're doing not better, but they're just doing well. Okay, I don't like to use the word better because not every immigrant is killing it, right? But they're doing well. Majority are doing well. Okay, some are assimilating better than others, but slightly doing well. Some are also doing horribly, committing certain crimes, like what we talked about, the Somali issues, some of the frauds issues that have come up, stuff like that. But for the most part, most black immigrants have behaved themselves well in America. So if you look at this group with a separatist mindset, then you shouldn't worry what they're doing in America, and there will be no issues, right? There will be no issues. You shouldn't force them or conform them to some codes or to some standards, right? And that is what is really missing. And I like that we are having these conversations now, because it feels like this is the part of the conversation that nobody knew about. That to us, we're just a separate group in America on a mission to provide for ourselves, our families. Some will return, some will not return, but that is the goal. When that time comes up, they decide what they want to do, right? As long as they're doing that within the confines of the law. If you don't look at me as a black person, you wouldn't expect anything from me, and there will be no issues. It's like she's saying, like, just like the white folks, just leave us alone. Right? Don't worry about who I vote for. Don't worry about my politics. Don't worry if who I voted for is not on code. That's my right. That's my right. That's what I think is good for me. I don't have to do what is good for you and your community. I have to do what is good for me, and you have to do what is good for you and your community. So this pressure, oh, we want these immigrants to vote this way, we want them to be on code. No, that's controlling, that's toxic. You're going to face resistance, because as you've seen now, because they thought these Africans were timid, now they've understood that Africans are not timid people at all. They're not. I'll let this play out for another 10 minutes and I'll close it out.
Part you don't understand, it is not just your country. When you sit at 40 million and the whites are saying at 200 million, I think it's more so to the whites to say, yeah, we don't want you here. You're not a majority. So who are you to even extend or retract hospitality?
And that's the thing, yeah, who are you to extend or extract hospitality? And secondly, most of these immigrant groups you're talking about are American citizens. They've sworn oaths. Some of them are contributing even more than your birthright. Yours is just a birthright. Some acquire citizenship a certain way. If I go commit a crime in Jamaica right now, they're going to say Ghanaian American, because I'll be going into Jamaica with an American passport. Okay. When these immigrants go to space and do amazing things, they say South African American or whatever American, right? Keep the same energy. Once you've naturalized, you're an American citizen and you have an equal stake in the country. Whoever disagrees, that's their own problem. They can go to hell. Okay? They can go tell Massa to change the rules, or maybe they can take over and make the rules. But if you don't have the ability to make the rules, then you should not be complaining. Oh, okay, I think I have. I think DJ is here. Salute to you, DJ.
No, what's up, bro?
Good man. Welcome.
Yeah, I was just listening to you, so let me hop on, so we can talk.
What did you start from the beginning?
Yeah, man, I saw like the thumbnails, man. O'Shea look better than ever, man.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You know, I don't do mean thumbnails, man.
Yeah, I saw O'Shea with the gold chain. I like, damn, Nana really made O'Shea like a playboy or something like 50 Cent back in 2001, man.
uh, oh yeah, man. What do you think about this lady, man, Marlene?
Yeah, the way she sound like she probably have like African background.
She's from Ivory Coast.
Oh, she's from where?
Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah. She sounds like that, and she's going pretty hard though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. She's ooh. When I first
Yeah,
got
it's really nice that our African sister is stepping out now. To talk about these issues. Like that. And it just make the gospel go way farther than it's like small creators on YouTube. We don't talk about this stuff, but at least some of our sisters stepping up, so that's a good sign right there.
oh yeah, oh yeah. And she got quite a bit of following. I think she just started live streaming, uh, but she has 70,000. So she's a big channel, you know. And I like how she handles the trolls. I mean, I think she's holding the line pretty well. I'm gonna try and
Y-
see if I can get her to come on stream, because
Yeah,
we think the same from what I've heard so far. I'm not the only one.
yeah. Oh yeah. She's very articulate. How she speak. She sounds probably RN or something. She sounds very smart.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, a lot of people. It looks like she's on the East Coast. They educate themselves. You know, they don't just come here. And but the thing she's saying, here's the thing though.
Hmm.
We already know these things, right? But I don't think Black Americans will listen to what she's saying without reacting. Like they are ready to react, so they are not really listening to what she's saying. But what she's saying here is that each group has to accept that we are completely different, doing different things. You know,
That's
you go
true.
your way, more like you go your way, I go my way. Now, if there are individuals that you're compatible with and you want to be friends and you want to do stuff with, then that's okay, right? I mean, I'm not friends with every Japanese person, but there might be one or two Japanese people that I like that I'm friends with, right? And that is what should be. And soon as they
Yeah,
don't like you saying that, they're like, well, go do that in your home country. Well, but they're American citizens now. They have equal rights as you do. Who are you to minimize somebody's citizenship? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't
yeah,
just get it for being here. You earn it, you know? I mean, some people have birthright citizenship, but most of us actually have to earn it. It's not given easily, right? What do you say?
yeah. Yeah, you gotta go take the test. You gotta do all this paperwork just to get your citizenship. So it's something that you work hard for and on. And like I was watching O'Shea recent video, right? Like how he was talking about this guy, man. He was talking about Ghana history. I was just laughing. I like this man do so much research just to be talking about something you don't know about, man. So crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I mean, I think O'Shea is embarrassed by what he did. That's why he took down the videos, right? I mean, why did he take it down?
I don't know why. I think that's why because people is catching up to his, almost like controlling factor in him. But I like what you told me the last time. Like, I keep watching his video. Like, this man is so much controlling, man. It's like he wants for everything to go his way, and that's not gonna work, man. If you're in
No.
Africa, you got to be very humble and
Yeah.
respectful and don't think everything gonna go your way. The same way we come over here, we have to adjust. What about you going to Africa and doing the same thing? You know.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't think he has to adjust because he believes he's American and he's more superior to the guys over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's not gonna work, man. It's not. It's like you living in a project. If everybody walking around with something, you think you're just gonna be walking around by yourself with nothing? Come on, man. You have to adjust to your situation and respect other people' country. You can just come there and think you for United States. Like it's not gonna work, man.
VDT is saying they think that things were given to us here. That's another point of conflict too, right? I've heard a lot of them say that when you come here, they give you food cards and they give you housing cards. You know that give thing. And I'm like, where is this thing they're giving that I never heard of all these years, right?
Yeah, that's a lie, man. That's a lie. I don't know. I
But
don't
they
know.
still don't believe that though. Like I've had people, even on my own panels, I've had people come in and say, no, that's not true. Y'all got some money to go to college, y'all got this, y'all got that. I'm like, who's giving this in this same America? You
Man,
know?
everybody's doing student loans. Everybody's open to everyone. Like, come on. That's very, you got to be smarter than that, man. You
Yeah.
think you think you think Africans just come here and get free stuff? You got to be joking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just I don't even understand like how do you get free stuff? You know, only when you think about free, then you research free, right? But some of us we don't research free. I mean, like, why am I thinking of free? You know, in America, this you know how hard it is, bro. Like these people talk as if it's so easy. Why do you think our folks are driving Uber and still working a full-time job at a hospital and CNA and still going to school at the same time? Why are these people doing all these things? I know guys that work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and still go to college.
Yep. Yep.
You know?
It's like, Nana, it's just like when you when you know the truth, but you don't want to accept the truth, that's when you deflect from the situation.
Yeah, it's a lot of coping going on, man. I'm telling you, man, it's a lot of coping. But these things, this was gonna happen. It wasn't just Tariq.
Hmm.
Even if Tariq didn't do it, this was gonna happen at some point, right? So for me, I like that it's happening. But what I've also understood is they had a good run for like 2 or 3 years because no Africans were making content pushing back, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like over the last 12 months, uh, they don't like what we've been saying. They deem it disrespectful. They feel so disrespected. I'm like, why do you feel disrespected? We're just dishing out the same bullshit y'all have been dishing to.
Yeah, it seems like they don't like counter attack. You research something, and when we research something, it's like it's two different type of stuff. Like you live in this country every day. If you put up the TV, it's somebody killing somebody. It's the black people keep killing each other, man. So I don't know. You can be playing that video on your stuff to degrade Black American, but you don't do that. You just want for people to know the truth. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what.
yeah. It's every day, man. Every city, every corner of the U.S., every city where they are congregated. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these people, uh, they say all these things about white folks, but as soon as they come up on a little bit of money, they want to live in neighborhoods that are predominantly white because the white folks have made their neighborhoods cleaner and safer.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
yet
Yep.
they want to gaslight you to think that these white people are so hateful that they don't want to be around these people. I'm like, well, all the things that you're talking about, um, Civil Rights Act and all these acts they talk about, is desegregation. That means opening the doors to integrate with white folks. But yet you hate
Hmm.
the white folks. So if you've taught yourself to hate these people growing up, how are you going to do any better?
That's true. Yep.
Yeah, I
That's
mean, why are you going to do it? It's either you integrate fully and move on beyond race, or stay in your own neighborhoods and be so heavily dependent on race. Like, I've never seen people this obsessed with race. It beats my mind, bro.
it's crazy. That's the same
Yeah.
thing. That's the same thing. I went to a job. I told them, why you guys still have like the race stuff on the application? Like, why do you guys still doing that? And the lady told me, oh, we was going to change that because they know black people, like what you were saying from the start, like, like you fill out a application, they know you're a black person because you already put your race and know a white person. So if you want to keep it fair, you just have to leave it like that. Whoever have the best application, then you can hire them. But if you do it like that, most of the time the white man will go above the black man.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why they were fighting for the diversity, equity, and inclusion. And what diversity, equity, and inclusion was saying is like, hey, you guys just give us a job. We are not good enough. Just give us a job. And then they cook their stories in liberal circles to make it sound like, oh, they are equally qualified, but they just want to have equal opportunity. There's nothing as equal opportunity in a capitalist world. We are
Yeah.
not all equal. We're not
No.
all gonna get the same salaries. We're not all gonna be perform at the same productivity levels. We're all gonna be different. Even on YouTube, right? YouTube is an equal playing field. But have you not heard black creators criticize YouTube for shadow banning black people? They've made
Yeah,
racism comments about YouTube.
that's true. Yeah, I hear
They
that
said,
too. Like,
yeah, they're saying the algorithm is racist. Like, man, you guys, everything is racist.
like people don't put in work, but they wanna get paid for something you don't put in. Like if you make good content, people gonna watch you. But if you keep
Yep.
making the same thing over and over, and you just stuck in that bubble, man.
Exactly. Exactly. Because the same thing, I can point to black creators that are making a killing, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a
Like,
that's a. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was saying, like this guy that reviews electronics. I've forgotten his name. Michael or whatever his name is.
Oh, Michael. Yeah, Michael.
Yeah. He's a black guy. He gets a lot of views.
Yeah, he make a lot of money too. That kid is pretty good. Like he know what to do. And you know what he did? Like when he was doing that, he built another channel for cars. He's very smart. He's very smart. Michael is very smart.
Yeah, but saying beach towels are racist. Salute to you, Akinyi. Greetings there from Nairobi, Kenya.
Beach towel. Okay.
Yeah, and Deuces is saying, even if it were true that Africans get loans, there are plenty of loans available for FBAs that don't even compare to what Africans would get. And the loans are loans, you got to pay back.
Bro, as a black people, we all go through the same situation, man. Like we can say black African American, but when you get in trouble in this country, everybody's the same. You're a black man. They don't care about where you from or where anything. Like they just stipulate both of you guys like that to be the same to be the same people.
Let me play about few minutes of this, ladies. We'll get your reaction and then we'll close out.
You don't matter
Okay.
like that. You truly do not matter, right? You're sitting at 40 million. Average GDP per capita 50,000. So not only are you a minority, when it comes to who makes the most money, you don't even make the most money. So no one truly cares what you want. No one truly cares. It's up to the whites to say, hey, Marley, we don't want you here, because the whites are the majority. They sit at 200 million. They sit at 200 million. So how can you sit at 40 million and think that you even have something to stand on to tell me what you want? I could care less what you want, sis. I could care less. Just like a lot of people will say, hey, Mama, maybe like you're a single mom. A lot of people tell you, oh, sis, go get married. Don't have multiple kids by multiple men. You're not going to listen, right? So you have as a Black American woman, you have a strong identity for not listening. You do whatever the fuck you want, when you want, how you want. You'll have as many kids as you want, whatever you want. So if you yourself don't listen, why the fuck would I listen to you? Right? Do your own kids even listen to you? Do your grandkids even listen to you? No. But you think Marlene, because I'm an immigrant, I'm going to listen to you? No, you're nobody. Okay? I don't care. But even the immigration system says The person in charge of immigration is Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio is the Secretary of State. He runs the State Department, right? It's Marco Rubio. Marco himself is Cuban. So it's like, so imagine being Black American, right? And telling an African, oh, you need to leave my country, when the person in charge of immigration is an actual Cuban. Like, hello, like there's something like there's it's incredible. It's incredible, right? But I think some of you Black American people, you FBA people, you need to actually learn to have conversations with actually intelligent people. Stop being around your ethnic, tribal, narcissist simpletons who have you in these weird ass echo chambers, right? Because you're not prepared for real conversations. But the actual person in charge of the State Department he's Cuban. He's Cuban. Marco Rubio. His people came from Cuba, and they're quite recent immigrants. So if he's here, I'm going to be here as well. There you go. You can be whatever you want, sis. Have all the labels you want. Be an FBA, be a Black American, be whatever you want.
Yeah, what's it with all these labels they keep coining for themselves, man?
Yeah, I'm seeing a guy over here called Child of God. Man, if you want to come up, you can come up, but how, what will you say we don't know your struggle? We live in your community. We see what's going on, you know?
I mean, what struggle though? What can't you do now?
No,
What are the limitations now, bro?
I just think like he's just talking about the YMs and all that stuff, but it's like living here back in the day and living here now is no structure. At least back then, like gang members used to, you know, show this little kid the right path, but nowadays everybody just want to kill people. So I don't know what he's talking about, but you can come
Yeah,
and give your point
and,
of view,
and
man.
you remember back then the gangs didn't kill women and children, but now they're
Yeah,
even killing children.
yeah, they kill everything, man. Even the rock outside, they'll kill it.
Jada is saying no, Nana. There is some racism still. Yes, I agree. There has been articles about Pete Hegseth not promoting black men and women, uh, but that is what these FBAs should be fighting, not Africans. True, true. I mean, there's always gonna be nepotism. I don't know if it's all racism. Some of these things, like government jobs and stuff, it's a bit of nepotism going on, right? In politics, you bring your own folks in. It happens in Africa too, right? You win an election, you bring your guys in. But I personally think that Black Americans are losing influence politically in America right now. This
Yeah,
is the
that's true.
lowest. This is the lowest influential they've ever been. Like, and their vote no longer even counts. I mean, like, all you need right now is to get a Hispanic vote. You get the Hispanic vote, you win an election. Okay,
Yep.
so they are starting to become very irrelevant when it comes to politics, and politics is what shapes what you do in America. Without these politics, if you don't have political power or good representation, political, I mean, look at the current cabinet right now. You know the job they give black people when they win elections, Secretary of Housing.
Yep. That's the only thing, man, because
That's the
black
only
people don't.
job they give them. Go ahead.
Yeah, I say that's the only thing you what you saying you on point, man. But it's just like black people in this country, man. Like if you saw the election versus Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump, there's a lot of people they didn't try to vote for her because they think she wasn't fit for the job because of some issue that Obama promised the black people he didn't do. So to get a black person back into the White House is gonna be pretty hard, you know?
Yeah, no, 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 no. Black Obama was the one and only. Trust me, it's not gonna happen again. They're not gonna do it. No, they're not gonna do it. Obama was the one and only.
Yeah,
That was the one and only. That was an experiment. White folks was like, let's just try this one. It looks okay. And even that one, they are mad about it because it's Kenyan, right?
yeah,
The only time it happened, Tedes had to do it, right?
yeah. Man, this dude, this child of God, man, this guy is talking too crazy. Man, if you wanna come up, you can come up, bro. Like you don't have to be talking crazy in the comment. Come and give your view. We open to hear what you want to say. You know.
Well, the thing with them, what I've noticed too is when they come on panels, their emotional selves get exposed. We've had them before. They'll come, they'll get too emotional when you challenge their point of view, because they don't argue rationally. They don't have a lot of information for the most part. They're just loud mouths, rambling, um, out of sync, yell, take over panels, interrupt you, and then they're done. It's like they don't say anything that makes sense. I mean, if you want to know, just go watch any of their panels right now. It's like it's a mess, bro. The
Yeah.
last time we had what, 8 of us on a live panel,
Hmm.
and we're able to take turns without any order or control. I don't know if you realized it, right? The last Sunday stream,
Oh yeah, that was pretty good. Yep.
yeah, there was 8 people, and we're able to take turns. And I mean, little interruptions, but not too much, right? These guys can't do that, bro.
Yeah, because it's too much dysfunction, man. That's the same way. Like you can't control your own neighborhood because you guys can't come to one conclusion. Everybody trying to do what they do. Everybody trying to be selfish, and we have that too as a African. Like when you're doing better than your other people, you go back home. Some people not gonna like you. It's just how it is, man. So I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, yeah, just you can't talk about other people you don't want for them to talk about you. It just don't make sense. You gotta keep it fair, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, and they like to minimize these things that happen in the community, right? Like these statistics that are not getting any better. When you talk about it, like, oh, you hate black people, oh, you hate this, you hate that. I mean, like, geez, like, can anybody be critical, right? And this is after they've said things about you. Like, at least for us Africans, right? We don't argue against our problems. We know it's there. If you talk about corruption, shit, I can go on a laundry list, right? I'm not. If you talk about was it the BEC fraud coming out of Lagos, I'm not gonna argue that it happens. I hate it whenever I see them arrest those folks. I'm like, man, I hate that shit. So I hate. Oh, what did I do?
Oh, somebody asking for the link.
Yeah, I can. We can do it like 5 minutes because I gotta get to bed. But let me bring him on for 5 minutes.
Okay.
Just to hear that. What link did I send before? Oh, I sent a YouTube link to Marlene's page instead of there.
I think Matthew too. Yeah.
Yeah, if anybody wants to come up, you all have to come out like literally now because I'm gonna run this for another 5 minutes and call it good. But I'll open the panel up again tomorrow. So
Okay. Yeah, I think Austin make a video about he leaving. I don't know, but he got it on pay something. I think somebody need to send you that video, man. We need to watch it and see.
yeah, yeah. I think he will leave, but he's not giving up his apartment. So he's gonna be back in Nairobi. These
Yeah.
these guys are not gonna leave, bro.
No, the
They're
thing
stuck.
that I think Austin is not making the money he usually make, man. I think he's down bad right now, to be honest.
Yeah,
The view is not adding up. Maybe the super chat probably not adding up, and it's just like everybody's struggling right now, man. So I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? Should I release him? should I? should
Man,
I?
I think no. Go ahead, no, my bad.
No, I was saying like sometimes I think about it. I'm like, should I release him and focus on O'Shea now, or should I keep him going another couple weeks?
No, I think
Uh,
I think you need to leave it, man. I was now like watching O'Shea video. O'Shea is the one that really need to go, man. Y'all was right the last time. O'Shea, yeah, he's a troublemaker, man. He gotta go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why I said I think I can deal with Austin. Like I said, I didn't like the scam. Right, I thought the scam was the scam was too much. And the fundraiser is not doing well. Right. So I don't know. Maybe I'll cut him some slack, man. I just
Hold on,
refreshed it.
is he still have it up or he take it down?
No, he still has it up, man. Let me share. Let me share it. He still has it up.
Let me see.
Uh, fundraiser. Yep. So yeah, he still has it up at about $1,000. So he gained another $100 last week, and then before that was 16 days ago. So yeah, it's not doing well. I mean, he could raise that 8,000. It'll probably just take a while. It'll probably take a few months for that to happen. I think he's very determined in getting that 8K. It'll help him, but it's
Hmm.
not gonna go to the school. He's just gonna maybe take that money and use it up for something else. Um,
Yeah,
if I stop talking about this, maybe he's gonna start promoting it hard once we start talking about it, and then he'll be able to raise more money. But I think a lot of people watch the video. I mean, that first video I did had 7,000 views on it, so a lot of people have
mm,
seen it. That's typically everybody in the space, in the passport bro space. So that's enough people not that won't donate the money. I don't think it gets up to the target. But yeah, I mean, I
yeah,
can release him and just focus on O'Shea. It'll depend. I'll see how he acts in the coming days. I'll see how he acts in the coming days. But if he, uh, if I don't see any wild takes from him, maybe I'll slowly give him a break.
yeah,
I'll still monitor the GoFundMe, but I'll kind of back
yeah.
off it a little bit.
I don't think it's gonna reach to 8,000, man. If you even keep it for like 3 months, I think people already know like it's a scam, and you already talk about it. A lot of people talking about it. I don't think it's gonna even come closer to that. If it go 2,000, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, yeah, it's very slow. I mean, it's getting these last two big donations. I think they were protest donations, like they gave him out of protest because an African is exposing an FBA, right? So they salute to you, Sub-Saharan. So they gave it to him in protest. But I think after, you know, if you send your $100 to a dude like this, I think you're gonna look at it and say, "Damn, that's still $100, bro."
Yeah, that's how you know us. You don't really know Africa, man. How will you that what
Yeah,
people can pay cheaper for a haircut, man? At
yeah,
least
yeah,
talk about real estate. Yeah, you know.
yeah. I mean, $2, you get a haircut over there. $2.
Yeah, even people in the house cut their own hair, man. People got skills out there. Yeah, so I don't know.
uh,
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
oh yeah. I put the link up, but your dude didn't come. Anyway, let me give you the last word so that I can wrap it up.
All right, nah, yeah, guys, like the stream, Nana is doing like great work, so we can let you guys like what's going on, like with this Black American trying to destroy Africa. So we just trying to pass the message. It's not hate, We just want you guys to understand like what's going on. We gotta stand for our people, and defend them. Even though stuff is not perfect in the United States and Africa, everybody know like the situation we going through, so everybody know that. So you going to Africa is like you got to get ready for it. Don't go there and later on like stuff getting hard and you like, oh, Africa is this, You're not going to get easy paths. The same way people come over here and work 3 full job just to make it. And if you go over there, do the same, man. Stop being lazy. We working hard over here to feed our family. So if we can make it over here, you can make it, but you just have to change your mindset because African people is loving. We don't have that violence culture in us. So don't go over there talking to people rough. You know, they're gonna rough you down. That's why most of you guys can't go to West Africa, because West Africa, we got quick temper, because the moment you say that shit, we're trying to fight, you know? So that's why you guys is in East Africa. But we're gonna say the message and try to make you guys understand it's not hate. We love every black person, but you just need to come with the real facts, you know? Yeah, no, that's all I had to say.
All right, man. Thanks for coming through, bro. We're gonna keep. Yeah, I saw the chat there. We're gonna keep an eye on LT stream tomorrow. Like I said, I'm not gonna hit LT. I like LT, man. He has a passport to be critical. I think he's gonna be objective. So I don't know which of my videos he's gonna be reacting to because I have quite a lot of them. So, but he has Austin in the thumbnail. He has what do you call it? Oshay in the thumbnail. So I'm sure he's gonna
Oh,
have to do with.
you got you over there too. I can see your face.
Yeah. So I'm sure he's gonna be looking at both, maybe what is going on between me and those guys, but we'll see, we'll see, or maybe it's just clickbait. I don't think I said anything crazy, right? So,
Probably.
but
Yep.
yeah, shout out to LT, man. We'll be watching tomorrow. I got it on. I got my notification on. So,
Okay. Okay. I will probably slide in and to see. You know, I'll probably like the video. If I have time, I will come up too.
all right, bro.
All right, man. Be safe.
All right, good night. Yep.
We need another one. Phone now. I'm hungry though. I ain't gonna lie. I can go for some fries or something, folks. I ain't gonna lie, folks. I can go for some fries or something.